The scariest thing you saw in the 90s wasn't a horror movie, it was a cartoon rabbit chugging beer before driving off a cliff. This is Cringe Capsule, your time machine to TV moments that aged like spoiled milk. From Rugrats' underbed monster to Courage's CGI pharaoh demanding, "Return the slab," we're counting the 8 episodes that turned playtime into therapy time. Hit play and keep the hallway light on, you'll need it. Tiny Toon Adventures, One Beer, 1991. Saturday morning subtlety? Not here. For a single broadcast, Fox Kids let Buster, Plucky, and Hampton star in an after-school special parody that goes full Grand Theft Auto in 7 minutes. The trio find a lone can of beer, chug it for science, sprout 5 o'clock shadows, and immediately morph into slurring delinquents. They hijack a police car, joyride through Acme Acres, then Thelma and Louise straight off a cliff while belting 99 bottles of beer, cut to their tiny corpses floating heavenward on angel wings. Roll credits? Spielberg's animation shop swore it was a morality tale. Show kids the worst case scenario, and they'll never touch booze. Parents saw Toon DUI and child death at 8 a.m. and lit up the switchboards. Fox yanked One Beer after its debut. The episode vanished into VHS lore, traded like contraband on school buses and early YouTube rips with Spanish subtitles. Rewatching as adults, the whiplash is glorious. 1 minute you're humming the jaunty theme, the next you're explaining vehicular manslaughter to your Pop-Tart. It's no wonder Warner Brothers buried the short until a DVD release decades later. Moral achieved? Maybe. Every millennial who saw it still pictures cartoon angels whenever someone says designated driver. Rugrats, Under Chuckie's Bed, 1994. Nickelodeon usually gave us pastel diapers and Reptar jingles, but this season 3 outing turned the playpen into a psychological thriller. Freshly promoted to a big kid bed, Chuckie Finster is assured by Dad that monsters aren't real. Naturally, the second the lights go out, a disembodied whisper oozes from the floorboards. "Here, Chuckie, I've got candy." The animation shifts from bright crayon to shadowy chiaroscuro as tendrils snatch toys into the abyss. Tommy's reconnaissance mission involves a flashlight that sputters at the worst time. Every 90s kid's nightmare scenario. The climactic dream sequence shows Angelica being dragged screaming beneath the mattress, eyes wide as Chuckie watches, paralyzed. For preschool television, this was basically The Descent. Yes, the monster is eventually revealed to be a rogue sweater and Chuckie's own runaway imagination, but by then tiny viewers had already questioned the structural integrity of their box springs. Parents wrote in about naptime meltdowns. Nickelodeon quietly shuffled the episode deeper into rerun rotation. 2 decades later, millennials still check for sock demons before climbing under the duvet. Thanks to one 11-minute terror trip, Rugrats taught us a life lesson no therapist can fully unteach. The floor is lava, but the space beneath your bed, that's a portal to cute cartoon purgatory. Teletubbies, The Lion and the Bear, 1997. How do you traumatize toddlers with a show famous for babyface sons and tubby custard? Easy. Roll in a cardboard cutout lion on squeaky wheels, crank the soundtrack to Industrial Nightmare, and let the chase begin. In this infamous sketch, a wide-eyed paper bear trundles through Teletubbyland murmuring, "I'm the bear! I'm the bear! And I'm coming!" Moments later, a lion with wiggling eyebrows pounces into frame, snarling, "I'm the scary lion! I'm looking for the bear!" Voice pitched somewhere between demonic growl and dial-up modem. What follows is toddler cat and mouse horror, jump cuts, dissonant bass notes, and Teletubbies hiding behind hills while the lion circles like cardboard Hannibal Lecter. No lesson, no resolution, just existential dread until Poe finally giggles, again, ensuring repeat terror. British parents bombarded the BBC. PBS yanked the segment by 1999, declaring it inappropriate for the target audience, aka humans under 3. Bootleg VHS copies gained underground status, later resurrected on YouTube, where grown millennials revisited the fear and realized, yep, still creepy. Why it sticks. The uncanny valley of static cutouts given malevolent voices, plus the sheer mismatch with Teletubbies' usual sugar fog aesthetic. It's as if Bluey inserted a scene from The Ring without warning. Moral of the story? Even in a land of sentient vacuum cleaners, a cardboard lion can ruin your whole snack time. Are you afraid of the dark? The Tale of the Dead Man's Float, 1995. Snick promised mild chills. This episode delivered a full aquatic panic attack. The setup: Zeke, a science nerd, discovers a boarded-up school pool and convinces classmate Clarice to reopen it for swim practice. Bad call. Beneath the water slumbers a century-old corpse. Red, waterlogged skin stretched over a skeletal frame, eyes glowing like road flares. The first reveal is seared into 90s retinas. A swimmer dives, liquid turns crimson, and the ghoul erupts, dragging him under with a rattling hiss. No spooky music cue, just gurgles and the echo of frantic kicks. Later, Zeke's chlorine ghost repellent plan goes sideways. The monster surfaces, looming 10 feet tall, slime dripping, teeth clicking like pool filters possessed. Parents expecting campfire spookiness wrote Nickelodeon furious letters. My child refuses swimming lessons. Creator DJ McHale even cites it as the series' scariest installment, and reruns often aired with a rare viewer discretion bumper. Rewatching now, the prosthetics still hold up. Think Jaws meets Dehydrated Mummy. And the moral? Always heed the locked door sign, because gym class shortcuts can lead to undead lifeguards. For an entire generation, public pools were never just chlorinated water again. They were potential portals to soggy nightmare fuel, courtesy of the Midnight Society. Courage the Cowardly Dog, King Ramses' Curse, 2000. Cartoon Network's Pink Beagle regularly tangled with creepy foes, but nothing unnerved viewers like the spectral pharaoh who floated into nowhere, Kansas, demanding, "Return the slab." Eustace Bagay unearths a stone tablet, and because he's Eustace, refuses to give it back. Enter King Ramses, a jittery 3D mummy pasted into 2D scenery, skin the color of moldy parchment, jaw unhinged in eternal echo. The clash of animation styles alone felt illegal at 7 p.m. Ramses unleashes 3 plagues, a biblical flood that isolates the farmhouse, an earworm lounge sax that drives everyone insane, and a locust swarm rendered in eerie silence. Courage spends the episode barreling through hallways while Ramses hovers outside windows, repeating his droning mantra. Kids prayed the slab would be returned before commercial break. No luck. Eustace ends up cursed, mummified, and screaming as the ghost drags him into the desert beyond the living room wall. Roll credits. Wyatt scarred, that monotone refrain, the uncanny CG overlay, and Cartoon Network's gutsy decision to let a children's show end with the antagonist winning. No tidy moral, just cosmic punishment for greed. 2 decades later, Return the Slab remains shorthand for "Nope, I'm sleeping with the light on," proving Courage's greatest horror wasn't jump scares, it was dread that lingered long after bedtime. Invader Zim, Dark Harvest, 2001. Nickelodeon greenlit plenty of weird, but this episode dived face first into surgical body horror. Alien misfit Zim learns the school nurse will check for human organs, so, logical solution, he decides to steal some. Cue a hall pass rampage where Zim chloroforms classmates and yanks out spleens, livers, even eyeballs, storing them in a lunchbox that sloshes ominously. Each theft ends with a quick replacement. Random objects jammed back into the victims. One kid goes home mooing because his lungs are now cow udders. By the final act, Zim waddles down the corridor grotesquely engorged, stitched like a deranged Build-A-Bear, organs bulging through his hoodie. He still fails the inspection. The nurse suspects excessive squishiness. The kicker shot? A janitor opens Zim's locker, gallons of viscera cascade out, and we smash cut to credits. Nickelodeon, 4 p.m., right after Rugrats. Parents weren't amused. Complaints of nausea and nightmares flowed. Some affiliates skipped the episode entirely on rerun cycles. Yet, Dark Harvest became instant legend among edgy middle schoolers, trading on LimeWire long before creepypasta was a term. Looking back, it's a masterclass in pushing broadcast standards. Zero gore shown, but the sound effects, squelches, pops, wet thuds, did all the scarring work. Proof that sometimes the most disturbing kids' TV didn't need demons or ghosts, just a mad alien with a scalpel and a hall pass. Thomas and Friends? Percy's Ghostly Trick or Haunted Henry, 1994. Calming narration and cheery brass band, usually. But 2 season 2 stories turned Sodor's Railways into a gothic nightmare. In Percy's Ghostly Trick, mischievous Percy coats himself in lime powder after a midnight accident, then steams through a fog-soaked yard glowing white. Gordon and James glimpse the apparition and shriek in locomotive terror. Thin, reverb-heavy whistles echo as Percy moans, "Woo!" Across playgrounds, preschoolers suddenly question the moral certainty of train life. The follow-up, Haunted Henry, doubles down. Workmen warn Henry of a spectral engine that roams a derelict tunnel. Later, a sheeted ghost engine wails past, lights flickering, sending Henry into catatonic panic. The reveal, just an old engine being towed under a tarpaulin, arrives after minutes of genuinely unsettling visuals. Black-lit eyes, whip-pan camera moves, and sound design more poltergeist than PBS Kids. Parents expecting gentle life lessons wrote frantic letters. My 4-year-old refuses bedtime unless the closet light stays on. British broadcaster ITV nudged the episodes to later slots. US releases sometimes paired them with a spooky stories disclaimer. Yet millennials still cite that powder-white Percy face and Henry's tunnel nightmare as their first taste of dread on wheels. Lesson learned. Even in the land of friendly engines, one coat of lime dust can derail a generation's sleep schedule. Sesame Street, Episode 847, The Wicked Witch Returns, 1976. For most kids, Sesame Street meant spelling with Big Bird and snack talk with Cookie Monster, until one rainy January broadcast resurrected pure Oz-level terror. Producers invited Margaret Hamilton to reprise her Wicked Witch of the West, green skin, cackle, and all, banking on an educational message about fear. Instead, they served preschoolers a 30-minute anxiety marathon. Plot: the witch swoops over Sesame Street on her broom, loses it in a gust, and spends the episode threatening to turn everyone into dust unless it's returned. She zaps lightning near Oscar, taunts David with "I'll get you, my pretty," and menaces a visibly shaking Big Bird. At one point, she demonstrates her power by making it pour rain inside Hooper's store. Practical effect, actual puddles, genuine child screams on living room couches nationwide. The lesson? Empathy wins, fears can be overcome, hits in the final minutes when the witch retrieves her broom and awkwardly promises to be nicer. Damage done. PBS stations were flooded with letters like, "My daughter hasn't slept for 3 nights," and "Please warn us before evil sorcery at 9 a.m. After a single airing, the Children's Television Workshop locked episode 847 in the vault for decades, granting it near-mythic lost episode status until the raw tape leaked online in 2022. Moral: even sunny streets cast long shadows when you drop a full-strength Hollywood villain into the block. For 70s kids, the alphabet forever carried an extra letter, B for broom-wielding nightmare. And that's our tour of kiddie show nightmare fuel. Proof that the real horror anthology was Saturday morning TV all along. If a single memory we unearthed just sent you reaching for a nightlight, hit like so the algorithm knows you're still alive. Drop your own "they let kids watch this" moment in the comments, then smash subscribe for more cringe capsules each week. We love diving into reality show disasters even messier than a Teletubby lion chase, so keep the popcorn handy and the therapy budget flexible.